V3 RC, and I am so dang excited, and I truly mean that because we have a V2 of one of my all-time favorite planes ever made, the Ranger. I've been riding with this puppy since the beginning. You can see we have the V1 right here, and that's because I didn't crash it, because it's a phenomenal plane. I seriously fly this all the time. If you don't have one of these FMS Rangers in your hangar, you need it. This is a staple to everyone's hangar. I'm a jet guy. This plane converted me. I love flying this. Float flying this is the best thing ever. So if you guys haven't picked one up, you can use my link down below. It's an affiliate link. I get a small kickback. I get a few bucks if you guys order through that link, and that's a little like, hey Mach 3, thanks for making this video. I appreciate it. I'll use your link. No extra cost to you. Go check it out, and I appreciate when you guys order through that. So now that that's out of the way, I'm excited to unbox this because there's some upgrades, there's some changes, and FMS is quoting 3 to 10 minutes install time. I don't think FMS has ever seen me put a plane together, but we'll see how much easier it is than the V1, and then we'll compare the two. So let's get cracking. Subscribe, comment, like the video. Let's open this up and get this V1 out of the way and in the trash. I'm joking. I will keep this till the day I die. I love this plane. It's my favorite. I got all my friends to get the Ranger, and they love it too, okay? It's that good. I'm impressed they fit this. It's not a small plane, and they fit it in this little tiny box. First impressions, the fuselage is split in two, so that's new, and that explains how it fit in the small box. Makes it super nice for storage or transportation if you got to do that. Looks like we got to pull this wire right here, and we're going to thread that through, and that's our first step. So, put this in here. Oh, I'm noticing too, there's a little clear tube that we want to put our rudder rod through as well. It's really tiny, so thread this metal rod through the clear tube and then thread this through as well and insert the spar. I spent way too much time threading this cable through. Jeez, but we got it. Next up, there's going to be long and short screws. You get 2 of the shorter screws and put one in the top, one in the bottom. Once your screws are in, put this push rod through the servo here, and it tightens down with a small Allen, but make sure your rudder is nice and straight, which makes it easy for later on when we connect that rudder. This cable that we fed through earlier right here from our fuselage is for our elevator, and it's in a little bit of a tricky spot. You have to plug it into the elevator spot on the Reflex, which is tucked back in here. For a guy with me with big old fingers, it's a little tricky. Yeah, didn't like that. Not a huge fan of that. All right, now that we got some of that, let's flip her over, get the landing gear on. I'm gonna put floats on, but they haven't came yet, so I'm just gonna do this. The floats get sent separately, so we're just gonna slap this on, get this, get your cover, and then we're going to use 2 of the long screws in the back, 2 of the short screws towards the front. I legitimately completely missed the horizontal stabilizer when I was unpacking from the styrofoam, so make sure you don't skip past that. The white on white kind of blends in together, but it's in there. Careful before you like smash all the styrofoam after you take everything out or something. All right, so this is simple. It's just 2 of our long screws. So put this right in place and then 2 long screws and we're Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Okay, it looks like we do top hole and top hole. I'm gonna wait to clip this on to the end. because I'm gonna put a battery in it and let all the servos center before we actually clip it on. So we'll just put our hook through in the top hole. I've had to do this on some FMS planes too. We might need to take a little like X-Acto knife and make the hole a little bit bigger to get that rod through. I usually just take it and spin. Do that a couple times. Ow, I poked myself. There we go. And that's through, and like I said, we're just gonna leave it now. Flip her over, next part's the wings, and there's something new with the wings. So what's new is we have a spar for our wings, and this is huge, this is important. I like that they did this. The wings were kind of a weak point on the old one because they didn't have a spar. So we're gonna add the spar to these, which is very simple. And then we're gonna put 2 of the small screws in this to hold the wings together. And then right here, those are 2 small screws. Go. Our wings are together. We're going to put the receiver on before we install the wings. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our ailerons. Remember to do yellow to yellow, brown to brown. Nice and simple. Okay, now what we're going to do is I actually have my 3S 1300 from my original V1 Ranger. We're going to plug that in and bind this sucker up. I'm excited to have it on my NX10. I always use the transmitter that came with the V1. Sweet, so I'm just going to go ahead and unplug this for now. But now we know that our servos are zeroed and we can connect our control surfaces. Control surfaces hooked up. Now let's mount our wings for the first time. Just kind of shove them in there. So that way you're not pinching them, at least more than what you have to. And I'm curious to see if these locks that we use, I really like them, but the first time you install them, at least on the V1, you had to do it and it felt like you broke it. So let's see if these are the same way. Oh, that was butter. Oh, super butter now. Those went in awesome. Okay, so let's plug in our battery again and turn on our transmitter and just make sure all of our control surfaces are going the right way. Forgot to connect our little wing supports here. Reflex V3 is cooking up, getting locked in. Oh, you can hear it working. Okay, left, backwards. Elevator, backwards. Rudder, rudder's correct, so that's good. So we're gonna go in. Our aileron was reversed, so let's reverse it on our transmitter. That's looking better. And we'll go over to our elevator. That's backwards. Reverse it. There we go. Throttle's good, but let's put on our throttle cut. Should always do that right away. I put mine on my H switch. What'll it be, fellas? Mustard or ketchup? All right, so the Ranger is together, and I gotta say, I don't know if install time was necessarily any easier than the V1, just a couple slight changes like the fuselage being 2 pieces. Again, I don't know how much that benefits us over just shipping the product a little bit easier. I don't see myself taking this apart that way. It's still pretty short. The wings come off still, which is awesome. You're gonna see the new Reflex V3 installed in this, which I really like. I've been loving the Reflex V3 in FMS planes. It works wonderful. You can connect your phone to it and use it. That's huge. It now comes in red, green, and yellow. I love the yellow, but I couldn't get 2 of the same exact color plane, so I went with red. The green looks pretty neat too, so make sure to check that out. Otherwise, they're fairly similar, and I'm gonna be slapping floats on this as soon as they come in. That looks like it's gonna install just the same. If you already have a Ranger, I don't know if it's necessarily worth upgrading. It's pretty much identical. If you don't have a Ranger, be excited for the V2. They didn't need to fix what wasn't broken, okay? This is a freaking perfect plane. I think adding the strut bar to the wing to give it some more support was awesome. Coming in a few new colors, good deal. And then their new gyro, it just makes sense. So if you guys like this, make sure to use the link down below if you want to pick one up. Use the code to save some cash. Subscribe, like, and comment if these videos help you at all. And we'll see you on the Maiden.